毕业生。 女士、各位先生，欢迎莅临今天的欧洲复兴开发银行精英计划2025欧银人才招募说明会。我们今天的说明会即将开始，请容我先宣布几件注意的事项。那我们今天为了尊重讲师以及来宾，请各位注意将手机调整为静音或者是震动模式。此外，此活动将会在 YouTube 上面进行同步的直播。那我们鼓励各位呢，我们在讲师演讲结束之后，我们会有一个 Q&A 的环节，我们鼓励大家可以尽量跟讲师在 Q&A 的环节多做互动。最后呢，我们邀请各位在研讨会结束之后呢，就是填写我们的问卷，给我们你们对这个活动的回馈。谢谢。各位女士、各位先生，欢迎莅临今天的欧洲复兴开发银行精英计划2025欧银人才招募说明会。首先，我们邀请外交部国际组织师施维君副参事来跟我们上台致辞，欢迎。
林副处长、詹组长，还有各位贵宾、各位伙伴、各位朋友，大家好！很高兴能够代表外交部出席这个人才说明会。据我同事昨天跟我统计，总计在线上跟有实体出席的，共有超过500位的年轻朋友、专业人才报名参加这个说明会。充分显示了台湾的年轻人、专业人才对参与国际事务的热情。很高兴能够在此能够看见大家。外交部呢一直鼓励能够很务实的参与国际组织，也很鼓励专业人才的培育，因为呢现在国际组织缺乏比较我们台湾人参与的机会，所以我们跟欧银长期的规划，希望台湾的专业人才能有这样的机会，能够到欧银去参加任职，然后培养国际人才，培养国际经验。欧银是一个非常具有影响力的国际多边发展银行，然后主要是推动绿色转型、智慧城市、永续基础建设、数位金融及人力资本发展，这些都是我们台湾优势产业，而且具有相当的领先能量。所以我们希望呢，今天有这么多的年轻专业人才能够报名参加。虽然我们的职缺呢，今年是首度只提供2个职缺。未来呢，我们希望能够有更多的机会，让台湾的专业人才能够参与这样的机会。外交部目前所推动的总和外交，我们林部长希望能够借由民间跟公司和协力，能够为国家、为台湾开拓国际空间。所以我们希望未来 在我们选拔相当的优秀人才，能够参加这样的机会。最后呢，希望大家能够未来就是未来，然后刚刚就是说那个有 Q&A 的 session 的时候，能够尽量的回答你们的问题，然后积极参与。谢谢大家。
谢谢师傅参事的开场说明，谢谢您。我们接下来进行今天的第一个议程：欧洲复兴开发银行人才招募计划的背景介绍。本段我们将邀请台湾欧银业务发展办事处为各位说明这个计划的由来以及目的，那让大家更清楚的了解呢欧银在人才培育以及国际合作上面的方向以及机会。让我们热烈掌声欢迎台湾欧银业务发展办事处业务经理王大仁。
师父参事、林副处长、各位长官、现场来宾以及线上的观众，感谢您今天的参与。我是台湾欧银业务发展办事处王大仁业务经理。台湾欧银业务发展办事处为我国政府与欧洲复兴开发银行于2006年合作成立，成立宗旨为协助我企业、金融机构参与欧银商机发展的机会，拓展与欧银营运国家的商务往来。区域包含了中东欧、中亚、地中海以南以东、北非及南撒哈拉等，同时建立台湾企业与金融机构跟欧银的商务连结。主要的业务目标包含：一、协助我企业海外投资布局之金融咨询与协助；二、促进我企业参与欧银商品、工程、顾问采购标案；三、促进我金融机构参与欧银投融资、连带及贸易担保；以及四、促进我企业借欧银的绿色经济融资、贸易促进计划或永续供应链金融，来增加出口贸易或优化制造生产。其中，促进我企业参与欧银商品、工程及顾问采购标案，是我们工作的重要项目之一。欧银采购标案包含欧银营运国市政基础建设工程、技术合作以及各项顾问案。台湾企业直接参与欧银标案投标，或与当地合作伙伴共同参与标案竞标，都是我们极力促成的工作目标。台湾近年以资通讯产业制造以及相关解决方案为自豪，以借此优势，在国内除了能自给自足、丰衣足食，对外更能借此拓展国际友谊，进而协助同好邦邻建构韧性的数位韧性网络。在此之前，台湾数位发展部数位产业署在2023年8月与欧洲复兴开发银行数位中心签署了合作备忘录，之后促成了有中华资安国际、资拓宏宇、华硕云端等企业开始与欧银数位中心合作，得到了承接国际资讯安全与数位转型的跨国专案商机。我们知道台湾还有更多的绩优产业值得与国际友邦分享，如半导体、人工智慧及物联网、智慧城市、智慧医疗、绿色能源等。为达成这些目标，需要我们不间断的投入与持续的维护及经营。我们期望今天以己身绵薄之力撒出的一颗种子，明天能成长树木，甚至开花结果。欧洲复兴银行是我国目前参与的4个国际金融组织其中之一， 也是与我国互动最频繁的国际开发银行。欧银目前营运的国家超过36个，在超过50个区域办公室及欧银总部同仁的协同之下，每天有许多的多边跨国合作发展专案正进行着。这些发展专案能改善欧银营运城市的基础建设与经济转型。我们期望不论在现场或是线上参与此说明会的您，也即将有机会参与欧银的转型使命，以投资来推动转型，造就有竞争力、良智、包容、整合、具韧性且永续的市场经营社会。今后我们将持续与欧银合作，不定期招募更多有志于跨国发展的台湾精英们，期望在欧银平台上与国际共同友好的朋友携手打造人类更美好的未来。谢谢大家。
说明，谢谢，请回座。For the next session, we are honored to invite Ms. Davina Czartorsky, Principal of Human Resources, Ebrd, to provide us with an overview of recruitment and career opportunities. So, Ms. Czartorsky, the floor is yours. Please turn on your camera so we can see you.我们会跟讲师做现场连线，所以请各位稍后一下哈，谢谢。
Ebrd to you. I will just share a short presentation with you. Here we go. Okay, so I want to talk you through a short presentation about who Ebrd is, what we do, where we are based, and what are some of the opportunities that we are very proud of to work on as an organization. As you've heard, my name is Jamila Stachowski. I work in the HR department at Ebrd in the talent team, and I'm also responsible for workplace culture. So in this first part of the presentation, just a few words on Ebrd. Who is Ebrd and what is our history and mandate? It is very dear to our heart that we have a very specific mandate and mission. We were set up after the fall of the Berlin Wall in the times of the collapse of communism in Eastern Europe. So in 1990, a few government shareholders came together to discuss what can be done to help the region ground itself better and move away from communistic market approach to a more market economy based approach. So the Multilateral Development Bank, Ebrd, was founded in 1990 and started working in 1991 and is now owned by 77 national governments as well as the European Union and the European Investment Bank. I will talk a little bit more about our shareholding a little bit later. Our mandate is very well embedded in our agreements established in the bank, and that agreement was signed on the 29th of May in 1990 in Paris. On our shareholders, as I said, we have 77 countries who are shareholders of our bank from 5 continents, as well as the European Union and the European Investment Bank. 27 of those countries are EU countries, including the EU and EIB. And then we have, you can see on the chart, a few of our larger shareholders, like the United States, the United Kingdom, Japan, other countries, including Australia, Canada, and Ebrd recipient countries who are not members of the EU, but who are recipient countries. We currently have a capital base of about 34 billion, and are very proud to continue to keep our AAA rating from all three main rating agencies, which is very important for us and for our abilities to lend. A very quick overview of our structure, organizational structure. At the very top, you will see the level of governors and directors, and these are the representatives from our shareholding countries and organizations. So the governors usually are ministers or secretaries of state, etc., who are based in their countries where they live, where the shareholding is, and the directors are individuals that are representatives of those ministries or authorities from our shareholder countries who are present at our location, at our headquarters in London. So we have a resident board of directors, and that's that level. And underneath is the president, including her all of her areas of management. And we have 5 main groups in which we have divided our organization. And very broadly speaking, they are client services, which includes banking. We have got finance, which includes the treasury and mobilization, for example. We've got risk and compliance, which includes risk management and environment and sustainability department. We've got the transformation group, which includes information technology, data transformation. And we've got a central services group, which includes our lawyers, the Office of the Secretary General, our Office of the Chief Economist, corporate strategy, etc., etc. And directly to the president, we've got 2 departments reporting directly into the president, which is human resources and internal audit. We've got 2 other functions, which is the independent project accountability mechanism and the independent evaluation department, which report into the board of directors, so directly to our shareholders, as they are one of the 2 of the independent functions who provide enough of scrutiny and evaluation of how we are running our business and what we are doing, and who are also, in the case of the independent project accountability mechanism, our direct window or door to external organizations, clients, communities, etc. If there are any concerns about any of our work that we do externally in our country's operations, that would oftentimes be the first point of contact to address those concerns and find solutions. So we have a strong set of Ebrd values or operational strategic objectives that really very clearly define the standards that govern all of our work. So we seek to develop a sound investment climate based on effective legal and regulatory framework, and that promotes corporate governance, including sound management practices, etc. So all of our operations that we do in our country's operations are guided by the need to promote environmentally sound and sustainable development. Very, very briefly, just going through our values that I talked about before. One is our transition mandate. We have a transition concept which argues that a well-functioning market economy should be more than just a set of markets. So we should be competitive, inclusive, well-governed, environmentally friendly, resilient, and integrated. Our second set of value is that we are very very keen on promoting environmental and social sustainability. So whatever we do, any project that we are suggesting to our board of directors for implementation would have this as a standard. The same as multi-party democracy and pluralism, gender equality, and I just get to the last three. Transparency, additionality, so whatever we do needs to bring something additional to our markets where we invest in, and integrity and compliance. These are I mentioned them before, our transition qualities: competitive, well-governed, inclusive, integrated, resilient, and green. And these are qualities against which we assess all of our investment proposals that we put to the board. So all of the ones that we are suggesting and that we are developing with our clients and our countries' operations are assessed against those transition qualities, and we need to have at least two of them always being very present in each of the projects that we are submitting for approval. Otherwise, we would need to do further work on them before we can submit them. As I said earlier, environmental and social goals are really important and critical for us, and they are enshrined in our environmental and social and sustainable policy. And that also shows in the bank's alignment with the UN Sustainable Development Goals, the SDGs. I'm pretty sure over the last few years you have heard a lot of the SDGs, and here you can see how our transition qualities, the ones
我们稍待一下哈，因为就是网络连线，可能我们稍微等一下讲师这边。
And all of the projects originated from any of these with the SDGs. Looking at our region, operations a little bit different than shareholder countries. All of our countries of operations are shareholders of the bank, but not all shareholders of the bank are also countries of operations. That requires a different status and a different approval mechanism. So these are regions that you can see here in which we operate, meaning in which we invest our capital, in which we develop governments, but also municipal institutions and organizations. Are Central Asia, Central Europe and the Baltic states, Europe and the Caucasus, Southeastern Europe, the Southern and Eastern Mediterranean, and also Turkey. And very recently, in Africa. And amendments by our governors on Africa and Iraq. So the shareholders have granted Kenya, Nigeria, and Senegal, and Ghana is still in the process of application. So we are moving into that very new region as well, and we've opened, I believe, 2 offices there already, and are ready to start developing into those needs. As I mentioned very briefly before, in 1975, Iraq also became into the EB region of the southern and that we were.
Demila, this is Kelly speaking from Taipei. If you can turn off your camera,
very
because we
varied and
cannot
very
hear you very well. We cannot hear you very well. Please turn off your camera if you can.
To our opportunities. Equity funds, food and services, natural resources, media and technology, and also areas that we are forward-looking strategy, which we call the SCF. Now, for areas for the
Jamila.
Yes.
Hello, Jamila. I think your internet is a bit unstable.
Yeah.
So I think for the last 2 minutes, it's a bit unstable, and the room couldn't really hear you clearly. So if you could speak a bit slower and.
Oh, I apologize.
Yeah, no worries. We just got feedback from the room, so wanted to let you know. Yeah.
Shall I continue presenting?
Now it's better.
Okay.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
I've taken the presentation off the screen, that's why.
Yes,
Okay,
please go
let me
ahead
just
with your
try to
presentation.
start sharing again. And we'll see if you can still hear me well. But I'm nearly finished with this part of the presentation. Okay. So just recapping on our focus areas for our next strategic strategy period, which is 2026 to 2030. One is focus on continued support of Ukraine and the reconstruction once we get to the point where we can do further work there. Then one of our focus areas is green, so using our investments and policy dialogue to catalyze systematic change that makes green investments economically viable. We have a focus on human capital and equality of opportunity, because we believe in equal access to economic opportunities as an integral part to sustainable market development, and digitalization. Through digitalization initiatives, we will help our region to leverage opportunities presented by the digital economy. And my colleague Leticia will speak a little bit about digitalization and the offering from the Digital Hub, who is leading on the development of many of those components. And 4 other focus areas in our strategy period are infrastructure, nuclear safety, still responding to the pandemic, even though it is a few years back now, but we are still joining forces with governments and multilateral donors to address urgent needs to tackle the long-term impact of COVID-19, as well as the last focus area of road safety. I will stop the presentation at this point and we'll come back later with some HR-specific elements.
Thank you very much, Jamila, for your presentation. Thank you very much. So please turn off your camera for now. Thank you very much for your presentation. Because the internet was unstable a little bit, so we will have a Q&A session afterwards. So if you guys have any questions, you can ask Jamila directly during the Q&A session. Okay, thank you. So for the upcoming session, we will have Mr. Robert Menkwawa, Acting Associate Director, and Ms. Eun Kyun Park, Principal Manager from Donors Partnership Ebrd, to give us an overview introduction to international analyst position. So may I now invite Mr. Robert to the floor. Take the floor, please.
Thank you very much, and I hope everyone can hear me well in the room. So good evening to all of the audience there. I'm very excited to present the donor partnership portfolio to all of you, and it's a very vital
part of our work. So I look forward to sharing, and I hope this is a useful presentation. Let me just start here and. Right. So I'm trying to expand my screen. There we go. So again, my name is Rupak Manvatkar. I'm the acting associate director, heading a team called the donor, one team in the donor partnerships division that deals with relationships with our bilateral donors, including the Taiwanese government. So I'm very excited to present our work to one of our donor countries and audience from our donor countries. I'll start by playing a video which will show you exactly how donor funds are used in EBRD's projects and what happens with them. So, and then after that, I'll make a short presentation.
Working with donors has been part of the EBRD success story.
All right. So I hope that was a helpful video. So just to give an overview, we work with, as my colleague Jamila presented previously, Ebrd is a bank. It's a development bank, and it's also an international organization with a mandate to help support transition to successful market economies. A part of our business includes working in countries that need finance from development banks such as ours, ADB, World Bank, etc. But we are also financing commercial entities on commercial terms. So we are competing in the market. Sometimes we need donor funds in these situations so that we are able to blend finances to make our financing a bit more attractive for those companies that perhaps cannot hire, that cannot borrow on commercial terms, and that's where donor funds are useful. We also work in addition to financing, we work in advice and policy reform, and part of these exercises, whether it's capacity building or assessments, they need funding, for which we unlock donor funds, and that helps Ebrd support our countries of operations and the private sector in countries of operations to enhance or improve their performance and adopt more efficient processes. So we've been in operation since 1991, and since then we have more than 50 donors with a portfolio of 5.7 billion euros. Our vision is to be the partner of choice for donors, and also to help leverage our funds to unlock private capital mobilization and deepen that transition impact. In addition, in recent times, we've also, just as the rest of the world, but primarily in the areas that we work, we had the COVID pandemic 5 years ago. And the war in Ukraine started 3 years ago. So we have been quite critical in responding to those crises as well. There were other crises such as earthquake in Turkey, the refugee situation, the crisis in Azerbaijan that we were able to help in supporting those projects. In terms of our donor universe, we have more than 50 donors, as I mentioned, and I'm very, very, as I mentioned before, the Taiwanese government is one of our important donors as well. I think to date we have received something like 300 million US dollars since 1991 from both Taiwan ICTF as well as the Ministry of Foreign Affairs of Taiwan. We have several types of donors. We have bilateral donors that you can see in the blue color, these are governments and the European Commission. So these are sovereign donors. We have multilateral donors, which are organizations. We have multilateral climate funds, which are again mechanisms for supporting climate finance. We have private sector donors, such as philanthropies, foundations, as well as we have our own multi-donor funds, which is kind of pooling donor funds together for certain purposes. For example, supporting infrastructure or supporting projects that enhance equality and gender. Almost 2/3 of our operations have support from donors, so it is very, very fundamental to our business. What we do with donors, we use donor finance for several instruments. So we have something called technical cooperation. As I mentioned at the beginning, we use donor funds as grants to support building capacity of our clients, introduce policy and regulatory reforms, whether at the level of sub-sovereign entities or improving capacities in private companies. This requires financing that we usually cannot do in the form of loans, so we do it in the form of what we call technical cooperation or technical assistance grants. We also do concessional financing, which means these are lending or financing that are somehow more competitive than market terms. So CapEx grants they are instruments that we support to buy equipment, machinery. Incentive grants, if we want to shape a certain agenda or inculcate a certain behavior in our partners. Concessional loans, these are loans that are given under market rates to help development or longer tenors. Or guarantees, these are supporting certain of our transactions in the market. Donor partnership is kind of in the middle of all of this. We are not a sector-focused team, but we are important for all sectors. We receive funds, we manage those funds, we ensure that funds that come from donor countries are used in a very responsible manner in terms of what we have agreed with our donors. We also ensure that we provide regular reports to our donors, and we ensure that all transactions that are supported by donor funds are compliant with rules and regulations of Ebrd as well as preferences of our donors. Our team also manages very, very important events for Ebrd, which involves donors and donor governments. So we have annual donor days once a year where all the donors of Ebrd come together. We also have individual donor days for each donor that we also manage every year. We have donor signings. So in the picture on the top right, you will see the Taiwanese representative to the UK, Mr. Vincent Yao, who's signing a contribution with our Vice President, Mr. Mark Bowman. That's when the Taiwanese government or the Ministry of Foreign Affairs is contributing funds to Ebrd to support our projects. On the bottom right, you see an event where we have multiple donors that are discussing a certain multi-donor fund. And on the bottom left, you see a site visit. So we do a lot of these type of events to facilitate donor visibility as well as communication with the donors. Now, this is a bit more, to answer what type of role we are going to have in our team. So as you know, this discussion is about 2 analyst positions. One of them is in the donor partnerships team. The other one is in the digital hubs team. So I just explained to you what our team does, the donor partnership team, and the position of the international analyst in our team will be expected to perform certain functions. Now, before I elaborate on those functions, I want to emphasize that, in my opinion, as leading this specific bilateral donor relationship team, this position is very, very critical because it will be foundational for certain fund portfolios. This person, whoever we hire, will support senior officers in our team, senior staff members in managing important donor funds as well as important donor relationships. That doesn't necessarily have to be with specific donors, although in the terms of reference, I have mentioned a few donors, but it will be more a bit more broad than that. So there would be some exposure to multiple donor governments or multiple exciting multi-donor funds. So what does it entail? It entails at an analyst level. This is somebody with a few years of a couple of years of work experience that understands project management, that understands a little bit of financial data management analysis, who's interested in international relations, foreign affairs kind of thing. And also is good at writing reports and creating a narrative of development impact. So there would be 4 key sort of functions: fund management and support. So when we get donor funds, we need to make sure they are properly accounted for. They're registered, recorded in our system. We have our accounts team that does that, but we need somebody to understand what funds are where. So it's not purely a quantitative function, but we need ability to understand quantitative information. Data analysis and dissemination. So we have our user teams. So we have different sectors who need donor funds. They also would need support from an analyst to provide information on what donor funds are available versus what they can access. Analysis of development landscape. I think for me this is the most interesting part. So all of you in the room who are interested in understanding international relations, foreign policy, and if you want to develop your skills in that, this would be a very good opportunity for you, because this role would entail analysis of foreign policy, analysis of EBRD's donors, policies, etc. So that would help support more senior staff in the team. And then reporting. Whoever also wants to improve their skills in donor reporting, which means in English, we mostly do our business in English, but writing long reports, communications, events that I mentioned, this would be an exciting role to be part of that. And I think overall, my team will ensure that whoever joins the team, in the span of time that you spend with us, that we build your capacity at a very international level. We have a very diverse team with staff members from multiple countries, and Ebrd itself as an international organization. We have people from all over the world. So this experience, in essence, would give you kind of a very good foundation to build your career on in future. So I hope that you would apply for this role to join my team, and I can assure you that it's not just a job. It will be a journey and an experience that would be very exciting for whoever wants to enter the development sector. So I'm going to stop there, and hopefully I can answer any questions that you might have for me. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Robeck, for your presentation and your overview. Thank you very much. So for the following section, we have Ms. Letitia Camus, analyst from Digital Hub, to introduce international analyst position. So, Letitia, the floor is yours.
Thank you so much. Hello, everybody. Good evening in Taipei, and hello, everybody who is online. It's really a privilege to be here, and I would like to thank you, all of you, for coming. And of course, a big thank you to our Taiwanese donor, because this international analyst program, for us, the Digital Hub will mean a lot. We are a small team, we have a lot of engagement and a lot of activities, so it will really have a strong impact to have someone who helps us on the team. So I'm going to share a short presentation, and I'm going to introduce you what we do. And I'm going to start from the beginning, hopefully. Yes. Can you see the slide?
Yes, we can see the slide.
First one? Yes, first one is called Ebrd's Digital Track Record. Do you have it in the room in Taipei? Can you see?
Yes, we can see that.
Yes, excellent. So so I'm going to start at the Ebrd level. So what we did in 2022, we launched our Ebrd digital approach, and that came very timely because it was after years of COVID lockdown. Businesses were a lot of businesses had to be online in order to survive, to become resilient. A lot of people worked remotely. We did a lot of shopping online. So really this approach, which was to support this newly developed digital economy, really was timely. And this approach identifies 3 areas of focus and 1 cross-cutting theme. This area of focus that we have are the foundation, adaptation, and innovation. Our foundation pillar is the building of the foundation of a digital economy through digital infrastructure. What we mean by that is that we want to invest, and we are investing in telecommunication company, for example, data center, submarine cables, any operators that will provide connectivity to the end user. That's the backbone of the digital economy. Then we have the adaptation pillar. The adaptation pillar is where we try to promote digital transformation of businesses, whether it's a big corporate or a small company, in order to make them more productive and more resilient. And then we have the innovation pillar, and the innovation pillar, of course, it's all the investment that we want to encourage in startups, in digital first company, and of course with AI, quantum computing coming at the moment. It's quite interesting to invest in this kind of companies. And one cross-cutting theme really that encompasses all these pillars is cybersecurity, because cybersecurity promotes safe digital practices. So that's our digital track record. In 2022-2023, over 2 years, and with 38 countries of operation, we invested in 120 projects that supported the digital economy. We activated 100 policy dialogue activities, and we delivered 2,000 and more tailored advisory services to our SMEs. Yes, so now we're going to talk a bit about the future, because for our upcoming SCF stands for Strategic and Capital Framework, which is really the strategic aspirations of a bank for the next 5 years. Digital will be an enabler for transition impact with an enhanced offering to Ebrd clients. So what does it mean? It means that we want the digital component of our investment to have a positive impact to the digital economy. So it could be in the reduction of green gas emission, for example, reduction of waste. It could be in more upskilling of the workforce. We want a positive impact, and we want more digital investment to come, really. So we are planning to expand opportunities for Ebrd digital capital expenditure investment by supporting our clients. We want to focus more on digital policy by engaging in targeted digital policy dialogue to try to remove barriers to market. And we are going to try to build digital awareness so we can deploy more knowledge product within the bank, but within our clients as well. And of course, in order to achieve all that, we will count on partnership with our donors, or peer IFIs, and the private sector. So now I'm going to deep dive a bit more in the Digital Hub mandate and bank-wide cooperation. So in 2022, the digital approach was launched and the Digital Hub was created, because the Digital Hub is responsible for coordinating the delivery of the bank digital approach. We sit within the policy, strategy, and delivery department of a bank. We have a 4 mode of collaboration. We provide targeted and timely advice to our banking colleagues when they shape the digital investment. We ensure close cooperation between all the teams in the bank to ensure that we have a coherence, a consistent digital and cyber approach in all the projects that we are doing. We design and co-lead on new products, tools, and framework thanks to donor support. And I'm going to talk a bit later about the programs that we have developed. And we foster digital and cyber knowledge within the bank by deploying learning programs, and we try to do 3 or 4 every year, roughly. We have a core team of 10, 12 people. You can see us in Brighton on the top right. So we are a small team, but we have connections. So we have a digital hub in France, which we welcome any member of any team in the bank to come and work 1 or 2 days a week, so they can see what we do, and when they come back to their team, they can spread the knowledge of a digital hub. And we have a network of digital champions, which are based in resident offices, and they are really the men on the ground. So they know what we do, and they can advise the client and put us in touch with the client. So it's really important to have this network of digital champions. So I'm going to focus a bit more about how we shape digital-related investment. How do we do it? Well, first of all, we need to keep abreast of all the new technology coming up. So we do a lot of research. We need to find the key trends, what's going to be important, because our clients are in all our countries of operation. And we have, it can span from Central Asia, Eastern Europe, Southeastern Europe, Western Balkans. Countries are different, and the sectors are different as well. We work with FI, we got with agribusiness, manufacturing and services. So we need to know what kind of technology are going to come next in this sector. So twice a month, we try to launch a primer that we will socialize with the bankers. We did a primer for AI in the mining industry, and AI in the financial services as well, because I think digitalization in financial services is going to really reshape banking services. We screen all the banking deals, and we try to include cybersecurity when we see that it could be needed. We quickly share expertise with bankers to support due diligence processes if needed, and we identify missed opportunity, and we try by closing the gap if we see that we will really need to deploy a consultant for a client that need it by deploying one of our TC programs that I will talk a bit later. So on the right-hand side, you got example of digital investment that we did. What you can do is you can go on ebrd.com, and if you just write ROHIC, for example, which is the name of our client in the Czech Republic, you will be able to see the investment we did. So who was the client, which digital investment we did, what was the impact of it, how much we spent. So it will be very, very useful for you to see how it works, and I encourage you to do it. Same if you put Borusan Port or Kormotek in Ukraine or Moldovan Road. So you'll be able to have a better understanding of the work we've been doing. Sorry. So I'm going now to introduce you the two digital transformation, digital program we have. One is called DTSP, Digital Transformation Support Program. And DTSP really is an initiative by the Digital Hub designed to assist the bank's client in their digital transformation journey. The DTSP was funded first by our Taiwanese business fund. So thank you very much for that, because without your help, we wouldn't have been able to launch it. And the scope of work are threefold. The client, of course, depending on the client's need, he can use one of the three. It doesn't matter. We will start with a pre-transactional and transactional screening, so we can analyze the digital maturity of the client. We can explore the feasibility of a digital project. We can have some transactional due diligence. We can provide technical due diligence or commercial due diligence on certain digital technology that the client wants to use, for example. And we can implement, we got the implementation and capacity building, so we can develop strategy roadmap and support implementation. So if I give you an example of an assignment we finished, thanks to this program, we did with the state revenue and customs of Armenia. We deployed this program, and we managed to assess the digital maturity in customs operation. We identified digital transformation opportunity that complemented their hardware investment, and we tailored digital transformation roadmap aligned with international best practice. So that's the kind of work that we will do with this DTSP program. Then I'm going to go to another very, very successful program, which is a bit older. It was launched in 2022. It's our cybersecurity resilience program. CRP has supported 15 clients so far across I think a bit more by now, across all Ebrd business sectors and region. Scope of work is threefold, like the previous one. We got rapid preliminary assessment where we do passive scanning on the client, implementation support, and due diligence. I will give you an example of what we did with an assignment that was finished with a client in Ukraine, an agriculture and food and agriculture company was under cyber attacks for a couple of weeks. So they came to us really and they wanted some help. So what we did, we conducted a threat hunting effort to detect existing malicious activity in their client's network. We follow it up with an information security policy program that we set up for them. We train the users on cyber risks and good cybersecurity practices, and we recommended further action to be taken. With this cybersecurity resilience program, one of our consultants is CHT, Changhua Telecom. And I have to say that out of all the 15 clients that we help, I think Changhua Telecom has been deployed in more than half. So it's been very successful. For the previous one, I'm going to go back quickly. For the DTSP, we have 2 Taiwanese companies on our roster of consultants. We got Asus IoT, which is the consultancy branch of ASUS. And we have IISS, which is the International Integrated System Incorporation. So yes, we will use them depending on their client needs. So next one will be, yes, the fun bit. So the activities with our Taiwanese partner, what have we done? So we've been our Taiwanese partners, have always been there for us from the beginning. So the Digital Hub was created in 2022. In 2023, we signed an MOU with the Administration of Digital Industry, ADI, of the Ministry of Digital Affairs. And so they came to sign it in London. In 2024, in October, they came to London for an IT fair, and we hosted them, as you can see on the right-hand side of the photo. The Digital Hub also attended the Smart City and Summit Expo in Taipei and Kaohsiung in March 2024. And in June, we took some clients to Computex, which is the biggest IT fair in Asia, as you know. And it was good it's always a good networking fair to do. Then in 2025, so far, in February, we organized a tour in Turkey, a study tour for III, the Institute for Information Industry. And we went again to Computex. Yes, and I think we were with representative of MOFA, and I think with Ambassador Sun on the photo in the middle. And Tetra usually organize this tour for us, because not only we go to Computex Fair where we see the exhibitor, but we really tailor business meetings according to the needs and the sector of our clients. And Tetra always do a stellar job for us, so they are really a partner of choice for us. And that's it. Thank you so much. Do not hesitate to ask if you have any question. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Letitia, for your presentation. Thank you very much. So now we're going to jump to the Q&A session. So before we do that, I would like to invite all our speakers to turn on your camera so we can continue with our Q&A session. So for the guests on site and also online on YouTube, we will invite you to ask questions. So we will invite all the speakers to turn on the camera for now. So for everyone, if you have any questions, please raise your hand so I know that you have a question, okay? So our Q&A will be in English, so please ask your question in English. Thank you. Any questions? Please pass along the microphone.
Hi, my name is Luca. I am currently a COO for a small investment company in Taiwan. I'm looking to apply for the international analysis donorship program position. My question is for Mr. Menvaka. Did I say it right? Can you hear me?
Okay, you can go ahead with your questions.
Can you hear me, Mr. Menvaka?
Your voice is broke. It's cracking up, so I'm not it's not coming through very clearly.
Okay.
If the moderator can just repeat it, that would be helpful. Thank you.
Okay, so I'm just gonna shoot my question first then. So what is the main quality are you looking for people who's gonna apply for this position? And my second question is, what is the most challenging thing for this position that you have faced recently or ever? That's my questions.
May I request the moderator to kindly repeat the question, please, because I didn't hear most of it, actually.
Sure. So my first question is, what's the main quality are you looking for the applicants who's trying to apply for the donorship position? And my second question is, what has the most challenging incidents or events you have faced so far in this work?
The only two words I could hear in the first question, you asked what's the name of something, and
You are trying to ask the quality of
What's
the
the
applicant.
main quality are you looking for the applicants who's trying to apply for this position?
I think one of the questions, Letitia, that was for you, was on requirements. What are requirements for the roles? Do you want to respond to that?
Yes.
And the second
Yes.
question, I couldn't understand either.
Yes, sorry, the requirement for the digital hub analyst role, yes? So we will welcome anybody with any master degree in public affairs, international affair, banking, any banking development. But what is important for us is that the person already had 2-3 years work experience and was exposed to cybersecurity or any kind of digital transformation technology, because it's very our job can become very technical when we need to, when projects are coming in and we need to see, and sometimes it's not clear, we need to dig, we need to talk to the client, and we need to check how and the best way for us to intervene, if we can intervene. So we really need to understand all this technology and to provide the best solutions. So I think cybersecurity will definitely be a plus for us. AI, because AI is going to come everywhere, so that's definitely a plus as well. But any other digital transformation in any industry, it can be in telecommunication, in banking, we welcome. But we will need this background already there, this exposure. That will be very, very important for us.
Maybe I can also complement on in terms of requirements for my team. I think in terms of educational background, somebody who has a postgraduate qualification, master's degree in say economics, finance, international relations, public policy. That's because our team is not very sector focused. It's more generic on international development in that sense. So I would like somebody with that background. Ideally, we are open to other backgrounds as well, but I think that the ones that I mentioned are more suited to support the work. And then perhaps somebody, as I mentioned in my presentation, somebody who has worked in project management, somebody who has worked in a company that, I'm assuming here folks are from private sector, but also in multinational companies where you are supposed to provide reporting upstream or to headquarters or coordinate between different teams, so a coordination function, because we do coordinate with many different sector teams, such as Letitia's team and other internal stakeholders, and somebody who's comfortable in working with both quantitative as well as qualitative work. So I need somebody that's comfortable in writing in English, but also somebody who's comfortable in telling me numbers, tallying numbers, doing some analysis. I'm not looking for somebody who is a PhD level econometrician, but I know I would like somebody who is comfortable working on Excels and crunching heavy large data sets, but not someone, I don't need in-depth analysis in that sense, but I don't want somebody who is absolutely clueless about working with data sets either. So that's kind of a balance.
And I will just add to that, if I may, a last bit of information. Rupak just mentioned it, proficiency in English language, written and spoken. And then we are really looking for someone who's well organized, analytical, and able to work in a fast-paced environment. Mm-hmm. There's a lot of multitasking involved, and we've hinted already at good communication skills, because we need proactive team players, because we are working in a big organization, and these particular roles are touching many points externally but also internally. So being proactive and having a can-do attitude is really quite important to us.
And I do have another question. So what's the most challenging things you have faced so far in this position?
Challenges? In what sense of challenges? There are challenges every day. But
the most challenge for you that you feel like working in
challenges?
I think generally for the organization, we are very good at managing challenges. Usually we are supporting other countries or regions or institutions, organizations, if there is a challenge coming up. So the last big challenge, I think, was the invasion of Ukraine. It was one of our biggest markets, and markets of investment. So that was a challenge for the bank, but also for its staff. And we are very proactive and leading source internationally with all multilateral institutions in supporting Ukraine. Before that, we had obviously the COVID pandemic, which everyone suffered from equally. And then we have other challenges. We have internal challenges as well. We are on a big road of transformation, which is going really well, but there are internal little hoops to jump through as well. Rupa, maybe you might want to mention something else.
Yeah, no, I think at a maybe more generic level, from where I sit, the development sector is transforming. Global geopolitics is definitely changing. That means that for us, we also have to move with the speed of change. So as an organization, at least for me, when I need to raise funds from different donors, donors, their priorities are shifting. Some donors want to focus more on defense, so that takes money away from development, and so we have those challenges. So we need to find new donors to bring into our portfolio. We need to work with our existing donors differently. Maybe different instruments. We also, while as Jamila mentioned, we have the war in Ukraine happening, but simultaneously there are other challenges in the rest of our countries of operations as well. So we are, we had the refugee crisis when there was the brief conflict between Armenia and Azerbaijan. We had Turkey earthquake a couple of years ago, and things like that. So whilst we are expanding as an organization, we have just moved into 5 sub-Saharan African countries and Iraq. We are also facing some geopolitical challenges that we have to overcome, and at the same time technological challenges or the pace of technology changing as Leticia presented, and we have to catch up with that to make sure that our organization is not left behind and that we are transforming ourselves. And folks like yourselves in the room, younger people that join our bank, we have several young colleagues in our team. You bring perspective that perhaps the older generation might not have. So we have to, as we move forward, we also have to bear in mind what the younger generations think about the future and how we can incorporate that to remain relevant. So
exactly.
Yeah. Okay. So
Thank you for the answers.
Thank you very much. So I'm gonna take the next question. Is there anybody in the room? Please pass along the microphone to the lady. I will repeat your question, so please speak slower. So make sure that everybody can hear your question well. Thank you.
Can I just say it now? Okay. Hi, my name is Kate. Hi, my name is Kate. And I have a question for both Rupak and Leticia, if that's okay. This question is about the team itself, because you've all introduced your amazing work that you've done, and I'm a bit curious about your team itself. I'm sure you all have an amazing team, but looking at your team, is there anything in terms of, well, on top of the qualities you've listed on the job description?
I can't hear your question. I'm sorry.
I will repeat the question after she says it.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay, I'll just keep it short, so that'll be easy. The question is about the team itself. So looking at the team, is there anything on top of the requirements in terms of personality or background that they think will be a good fit for the existing team?
I'll just quickly repeat that question. Her question is that on top of the job requirements that you just mentioned, is there something particular that you are looking for example, like what kind of personality or what kind of things that you're looking for this besides of the kind of the general job descriptions that you are talking about? For example, like what kind of passion, personality that you are looking for? Can you explain a little bit more on that?
Sorry, can I just add on something?
Yes, please.
I think this question is more about the team itself. So I'm curious about their team and what they think they want to add on for their team.
What you're looking for add on in your team?
Is this question directed to all of us or someone specifically?
Anybody would like to take this question, please.
Sure, maybe let me start, or maybe Jamila, if you want to start by giving an overview.
Yes, I covered a big picture. So generally, we want a diverse as possible workforce as we can have, because that is what sets us apart from other institutions and organizations, and that's what helps us do our work really well, because a diverse workforce brings diverse views and knowledge and viewpoints to the discussion and conversation. So we do not have, other than being a good communicator, being proactive, etc. We do not have a certain person profile that we would be targeting to hire. Obviously, if you are in a more outwards facing role, then it would be good if you had the ability to speak to external stakeholders, etc., etc. So you can't be a complete introvert when you need to go and speak to many of your counterparts internally and externally. Other than that, in a recruitment process, we generally assess on a number of very clear and objective parameters, and they are based around competence and around behaviors and just general fit into a team and into the bank. So how are you portraying and showcasing the competence that you have, the skills that you have? How are you portraying how you're interacting with people around you, and that might be colleagues or external clients? And what of the values of Ebrd are you living and showing in your conversation with us? Because that's what's really important to us at the end of the day, because you need to fit into what the bank stands for generally, and not dismiss any of the bank's values. And then there might be other components that are team specific on some skills and traits. So maybe on skills, Letitia, Rupak, over to you.
Anything you want to add?
Thank
Yes,
you.
please.
I think the question the lady asked was about what else we are looking for in addition to the skills we have defined in the terms of reference. So I'm gonna try to be a bit abstract to help everybody understand what I'm looking for. So my team currently has around 15 people, and everybody is different. Everybody has a different personality. Everybody has different interests. So there's no wrong personality. I think everybody brings something different from each other. But in general, I think for this role, I would appreciate if somebody, I think that all of you in the room and anyone who's joining online, just showing interest in this position, that itself for me is a good sign that you are already halfway there. When you join the team, I want somebody to come to the team with an open mind, because nothing is prescriptive. I will not. This is not a school. I will not teach you something that is in a syllabus. Things will be very dynamic. Things will move. You'll have responsibilities that I might not know at this point, but when you join, there might be an assignment that I need somebody to step up to. I want somebody who is open to learning new things, new tasks, new abilities, and there will be lots of opportunities to do that. And sometimes the opportunities are structured. Our very nice HR colleagues have these structured development programs, but there are also hidden learning abilities. Sometimes experience itself helps you learn things that you would not have in a structured format. So you need to be willing to learn new skill sets. I think most importantly, I think a positive attitude towards work. I would say that if somebody tells me that I'm not going to do this type of work because it's not described in my terms of reference, that itself, I mean, fine, but you're limiting yourself by restricting your duties within what's advertised on paper. So I want somebody who has a positive attitude, and that's not to say that I'm going to give you a lot of work. It just says that I want you to grow and I want you to develop, and I will give you opportunities to learn new things. My entire team is working with me in that sense. So when we have new projects or opportunities, I see who is most eager to learn, and that person usually jumps onto it. And lastly, I think we work in we mentioned transition mandate, etc., but it's all part of international development. And to work in the development sector, you need to be passionate about this work. We are not here for money. We are not here for, all of that is great side add-ons. But if you are passionate about this sector, then your work will feel like a hobby. You will do it because you want to do it, not because it's a transaction. So I want everyone to remember that if you're here with that passion towards the sector, towards development, if you're even interested in certain countries, if you're just interested in seeing how you can help different countries in different sectors, that itself will be very, very interesting for you. And of course, be curious all the time, ask questions. There's no wrong question. There's always a question. Every question is the right question. The answers can be wrong, but the questions can never be wrong. So as young audience that want to apply for such opportunities, I would say be curious. Ask me questions every day, and it'll keep me on my toes. It'll keep my team on their toes. So that's what I'm looking for. And maybe Leticia, from your side.
Yes, well, I echo Rupak's speech, because we are a small team, so whoever is going to join us will have to be passionate. To be passionate about digital transformation, helping clients, be a quick learner as well, be curious, because when you are curious, it means you are willing to learn, so it's very important. Be good at research as well. We will need a lot of help with research. So I would say it's, as Rupak say, ask questions. There's no wrong questions, and the answer will differ really who you ask the question to. But yes, we want someone who is adaptable as well, and someone who can do, if one of us is away because we are a small team, someone who can step in. So really, there will not be, I would say, a dedicated job. You just focus on that. You're not going to focus on helping manufacturing and services clients. No, it will be a wide range of clients, very small, big corporation, financial services, agribusiness, real estate, whatever. But you will need to be, yes, adaptable and willing to help us. And it will be very, very welcome, because we really need someone who can step in and be passionate about what we do. And what we do, I think, is really is great, and we try to engage more and more. For the next, you saw strategic plan for the bank. Digital will be prominent as well. We want to increase our digital investment, so we will need someone who is really on top of it. That's it for me. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much for your responses. So I think we will take one more question. Oh, so many people. Gentleman in black. Yes, please.
Hello, I'm Augustine, and currently a project manager in finance industrial. And my question might be a little bit straightforward, so apologize first. I have just checked the Glassdoor about Ebrd, and I found feedback say that the working environment in Ebrd is a little bit bureaucratic. So I wonder how is the internal communication, how the internal communication and the teamwork is like in your daily life.
Can you guys hear that question well? I'll try to repeat that. So he would like to find out about your working environment because he overheard that it's a little bit critic. Is that what you're saying?
Bureaucratic, a little bit takes administration works.
Okay, so what he said is that it's a little bit administrative. So he would like to find out a little bit about the actual working environment in your team. So if you could share a little bit more about your working environment in your daily life. I think maybe anyone would like to take this question?
I can start.
Okay.
Working environment. So the roles will be based in headquarters in London. We have a very new building in Canary Wharf, which is one of the financial centers in London, financial districts. We have a very, as I said, very new and modern building, which we very much enjoy. We have plenty of space, formal desks around in the building, but also many informal breakout areas. We have a fantastic restaurant in the building, as well as two really good coffee bars. Working environment otherwise, we have for our staff, we are offering a hybrid working approach. So colleagues can work remotely from home, as in their location. So London colleagues, if they are living in London, when they're working and living around London, and colleagues should work also in face-to-face interactions in the office and with clients. And we generally say that is at a minimum of 50% of in-person interactions. So we want to see you in the office for at least 50% of your time. But really, that depends on the agreements that you have with your team, because your team might have a different approach to that. But generally, that is open to use. And other than that, working environment, as Rupak said before, is very fast-paced. We have a very dynamic team. We have a few old-timers, obviously, still in the office as our colleagues, a few very experienced and long-time colleagues who have been, some of whom have been with the bank since its inception in the 1990s. So there's a really great variety and a really good mix of expertise. What else on working environments? We have a number of employee networks where you can participate and volunteer to organize and participate in events. That is we have a big women's network, an LGBTQ plus network. We have an Asian community network, a young professionals network. There's a disability network, and I think I've forgotten one, but there are a few, a parents network. What else do we offer? There are quite a number of clubs around, so there's plenty of opportunity for you to, on a social level, also engage with colleagues and expand your network across all departments. Is there anything that I've forgotten or maybe misinterpreted?
You didn't talk about the subsidized food.
Oh,
You need
yes.
to sell that here.
I only said we have a fantastic restaurant with very competitive prices, which is really
competitive. Very
we
competitive.
offer. I think every day there's about six different dishes, a salad bar, a huge fantastic dessert bar, which I'm a fan of. So yeah, there's a variety, and the food that is served at our restaurant is changing and really representative of all of our region. So you will find Asian cuisine, you will find British cuisine in there, you will find Mediterranean and Sub-Saharan African cuisine in our restaurant, and you can try that food. And yeah.
Could you also share a little bit about your office culture a little bit, if possible?
Sure.
If
I mean, I
Mr.
can take that,
Robic or
Jamila, if you
Letitia
want.
could share a little bit more?
Sure. I think the bureaucracy question is because I'm wearing a tie today, but it's look. There's two sides of the story, right? As an organization, we need to have systems and processes in place. That's just because we are moving a lot of funds. These are funds coming from governments. It's our own, bank capital. So we need to have systems and processes, and that's where perhaps, like in any organization, there has to be some sense of formality and bureaucracy. That does not mean that is how we interact with each other. I think every team is very, very different. On a day-to-day basis, at least for somebody that works in my team, the working hours are 9 to 5. It's 8 hours a day times 5 days a week, and then half of the working days of the month you can work from home, and the other half you have to be in the office.
Not one half of the month. You mix it up throughout the week, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Sorry. So it's like for 1 week you can come to the office 3 times a week. The other week you would come twice a week, and then 3 and 2 and 3. So in a month, I would expect 10 days, 11 days for you to be in the office, and the rest you can work from home. What a typical day looks like, we generally have open desk areas, so everyone's sitting outside in the floor. There's no hierarchy that even I don't have a private office. I sit with my team on the floor. We usually are working together. We go to meetings together. We meet. We have calls internally with our country offices. So a lot of times we are speaking. We are coordinating. We are also answering emails a lot, and we we have to deliver whatever we do in meetings. So we have to come back to our desk and deliver. So that involves, at least for the analyst, that would involve understanding the situation of a certain project that needs funding, processing the funding requirements. That's the bureaucratic part, the paperwork, the process work. But also I think that we try to make it exciting by telling you the context, that what you're doing, even at a young professional level, is something that is contributing to something a bit more important at the outcome level, at a higher level for a specific country. So if you're, for example, fundraising for a project in Moldova, you might say, why am I doing this? But for the government of Moldova, or for a private company in Moldova, that might be the difference between continuing for another 5 years, recruiting 100 people, impacting the lives of 1,000 people somewhere. And if you understand the context of what you're doing, then that bureaucracy would seem to be important and interesting. In terms of work culture itself, we are, I think that there is, we like to be as inclusive as possible. In the team, we ask each other a lot of questions. We challenge each other's views. It's, I would like to think, and Unkil, my colleague, can correct me if I'm wrong. I like to think that my colleagues in the team they feel free enough to challenge me if I'm making a certain decision, and I try as much as possible to ask everybody before the decision is finalized that this is the way forward, this is how we're going to go. So a lot of times I think that in an international work culture, it's probably not the best practice in my opinion to have a one-way instruction, because we are all moving together and we all have to be on the same page. So whoever joins, you and your supervisor will be working on a common work plan, so you'll have to be on the same page, coordinating together. And along the way, if you have questions, of course, we are happy to field those. And if you have any concerns, if you have a different opinion, we are happy to hear that. There is always room for learning for everybody, including myself. So that's kind of, we keep it open. We are just like the qualities I mentioned. I was looking for open-minded, willingness to learn, positive attitude, curiosity. It goes the other way as well. I also ask people questions all the time. Sometimes they are trick questions, but they're questions nonetheless. So yeah, we have that open culture in the office. Maybe Letitia can say her team is a very dynamic team that sits just next to ours.
Yes. We are a small team, so we cooperate a lot between each other, and we are lucky enough that our team is structured, but we have a lot of freedom. So when I'm giving a task to achieve, I will try my best. If I have questions, of course, I ask them along the way, but I have a lot of freedom to achieve my task the way I want. And because I know the bank, I know the systems, I know how it works, I will try to do it in the most efficient way. But it will be at my, my own discretion. I will do it in order to achieve it the best way I think it is. And that is, I think, the way our management in our little team wants to proceed, doesn't want to put obstacle for us. On the contrary, if you know how to do things, you do it, you got the freedom to do it, and of course you ask questions along the way, you need support with there, so but use your own initiative, and it's really empowering. So our management really wants to empower people. And I find it very, very good because it boosts your confidence along the way. It allows you to progress better, quicker, to learn 100%. Yes, it's where we work. And we are very diverse. So we got, I'm French, we got Italian colleagues, we got South Korean colleagues, Polish colleagues. It's really a small team, but I don't think we have any British people.
Okay.
But
Yeah.
yeah.
So Letitia,
I just wanted to pick up on that diversity. Sorry, just one interjection there. I wanted to pick up on the diversity piece because that's we keep saying we are operating in so many different regions, etc. But equally, we have over 60 nationalities in the bank, working in the bank. So that's just something to keep in mind. And that will also shape how we are interacting with each other, because not all cultures understand certain things in the same way or would naturally respond in the same way.
okay.
That international and multicultural environment is very much reflected internally with our colleagues as well.
Okay, thank you very much. So I think we still have a lot of questions. I will just invite the person in the outside to ask a question. 我们邀请外场的朋友，如果我们外场的朋友有什么问题的话，麻烦举手好吗？好 ，OK， Please.
Wait. Hi. I have a question for Letitia. I used to work at Intel, and hi, I have a question for Letitia. Please moderate to repeat for me. I worked at Intel and as a technical project manager, and I was trying to get familiar with AI in my last job in another AI company. So I wonder if this is kind of learning through self-taught background would suit you instead of being an AI professionalist.
Letitia, this question is for you. Did you hear that question well? Letitia?
Sorry, Kelly. I didn't hear the question very well. Could you repeat it, please?
Could you repeat?
Okay, I will be louder. Is that all right?
Yes, please.
All right. I used to work at Intel, which is a big corporate international company, as a technical project manager in audio discipline, which is not something you mentioned before. And later, I went to an AI company, so I have to self-taught some AI machine learning technology as a algorithm project manager. So I wonder if you would be interested in someone that don't have formal AI degree, but have a very steep learning experience and successfully manage the learning progress. Which means that no formal degree, just self-taught AI experience. Would that be qualified, or would that be interesting to you if you see that in resume?
So Letitia, I'll just repeat that very quickly. What she's asking is that, are you looking for someone who is really professional in AI, or if she has self-learned some of the AI techniques from her previous jobs, will that be qualified for the requirements for your team?
Yes, any exposure, whether it's with a certification on specific skills or something you learned through work experience, I would say even better. So really, we will welcome you. There's no problem.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Any more questions from the outside?
Okay.
Yes, please.
Hello, my name is Rachel. I just want to make sure if my voice is clear to Mr. Rubeck.
This question is to Mr. Rubeck. Yes, please say your question.
Yeah, thank you. I have work experience with the International Committee of the Red Cross before with their fundraising team. So I'm very interested in international development and financing. And my question is, as you mentioned, you manage the relationship with over 50 donors, which is a lot of profiles. How do you ensure that while donors' strategic priorities are shifting, you can also ensure a good balance with the bank's strategic objective? How do you manage that communication with them, and what role can the international analysis play in contributing to the team to this effort? Thank you.
So I think the question was about...
Can I just suggest the room to maybe have the microphone replaced for the audience, because from our side, we're listening from EBRD, and I think the other microphone isn't functioning so well, so we can't really hear what the audience was asking.
Okay.
I think I got that last question. I think
okay, so Mr. Robert, please go ahead.
Yeah, I think the question was about how we are balancing priorities or shifting priorities of different donors and aligning that with our objectives. I think that it's important to remember most of our donors are also shareholders of EBRD. So whilst as both Jamila and Letitia mentioned about our strategic capital framework, that's kind of our work plan for the next few years, for the next 4 to 5 years. That work plan is developed in consultation with all of the shareholders and member states of EBRD. So there is a balance established because it's a consultative process. So even though one country might say that, okay, now we are not going to prioritize a certain sector, it's not one country that decides how we will do, how EBRD does its business. That one country might decide that we are not going to give development finance in that area. But EBRD's general direction is based on a consensus of all our member states. So in that sense, we have a balanced approach to things. So I'm not super worried about how EBRD's direction is. I mean, individually, donors, obviously it's their own taxpayer money. So they have that prerogative to decide how it will be utilized. But that doesn't relegate or that doesn't exclude us from doing what EBRD's main objectives are. So I hope that answers that.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you. We still have some questions from online YouTube, so I'll just read that question. So if any of our speakers can take that question, you can take that. The question from online is that how to get a visa for this job. Is the visa valid periods will be how long? So I wonder if anybody could take this question from online YouTube, please.
I'll take that question.
Yes,
So
thank you.
visa support will be provided to the successful candidate, and also if they are moving with dependents, so with a spouse or children, visa support will also be provided for those dependents. Other than that, the bank will not provide other relocation support. So that support would either be organized via the ministry or via personal arrangements.
Okay, thank you very much. I think we'll take one more question from online as well. And that question is Ebrd currently offer any internship opportunities for students? Or I think that audience is a low major student maybe. So he or she said, is the low major students eligible to apply for the Ebrd job? So I wonder if anybody can take this question.
So that's an HR question again as well. We do have an internship program, but that is open to nationals from our shareholder countries only. So that's one of the reasons why we are engaging in a separate program, this international analyst program with Taiwan, with the Taiwanese government, to enable, to give you the opportunity as well. But generally we do have an internship program and also an international professionals program for citizens of our shareholder countries. So if you were to have dual citizenship, you might be able to apply for those as well.
Okay, thank you very much for the answer. I think we have a lot of questions right here and also online, but we have time constraint. So if you have any further questions, we encourage all the audiences to fill out the questionnaire and have your questions listed in the survey. And we will try to answer your questions afterwards once we receive your feedback. Thank you very much. 如果结束之后，因为我们今天线上跟现场的问题都蛮多的，如果说我们现场还有其他的问题，我们现场没有办法回答到的话，麻烦各位就是在会后，就是我们结束之后，就是的问卷上面，再把您的问题写在我们的问卷上面。那我们会后的话，会邀请我们的讲师来帮我们回答这些问题。Thank you very much for all the answers and all the questions. So I would like to invite, before we end the program today, I would like to invite everybody to fill out the questionnaire to take some time. And then you can put down the questions that we do not have time to answer you. And then also you can provide your feedback on our event as well. So we are gonna share the QR code for the survey. So you can scan the QR code and then you can fill out the survey for us. So thank you very much for all the speakers for joining us today. So please, for all attendees, either on site or online, please scan the QR code for the questionnaire. And for any questions that we do not have a chance to answer for now, please put that question in the survey. So we will answer that afterwards. Thank you very much. And thank you to all the speakers for your attendance today. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, everybody, for your interest. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you, or thank you.
Thank you.
我们也提醒现场的观众，我们今天的活动直播会留在我们的 YouTube 平台上面，所以说会后如果说有想要再重复观看，或者是有什么不清楚的地方的话，我们会后在 YouTube 上面都有影片留存，可以再重复观看。谢谢。
fiesta with me, riding high, feeling free. Let the party begin. Carnival Rio Grande, celebration of life. Oh, hey, oh, oh, oh. Festival of delights. Oh, hey, oh, oh, oh. Let the party begin. Welcome to Carnival de Rio Grande. A cabaret all day, straight into the night.
Calypso dance.